Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome to my weekly update. In a week that we've seen the highest temperatures ever on record, and my goodness, has it been challenging. I was at the Royal Welsh Show on Monday. Wonderful to be at that amazing show again, to see so many members and actually everybody, including livestock, seemingly holding up very well. And I'm sure the Welsh team were really relieved to see temperatures falling as the week went on, and hopefully now it does look slightly more settled than it was. But it did shine a light effectively on the challenges of water security, and our long-term ask has been that we must be able to move water, to store water. We have too much in some places and too little in others, and abstraction is proving ever more difficult, as many members in different parts of the country know all too well. So I hope that the new leader in September, my goodness, does this need to be a reset moment for agriculture, because farmers everywhere are feeling pretty frustrated at the current situation, total lack of clarity. Final nail in the coffin for me this week being the refusal of government to lay the Australian Free Trade Agreement in Parliament for parliamentarians to ratify. This has been a long-term commitment. Indeed, the select committees have always believed that it must go in front of Parliament. They have never thought that it would do anything else. And many of you will remember Liz Truss, George Eustace, outlining that all deals would go to Parliament and would be ratified. Any problems, then it could be delayed through the CRAG process and debated further. And potentially, if Parliament was unhappy, they could refuse to ratify it. So this week, an extraordinary week, we saw a government that decided it did not have time to lay the Australian FTA in front of Parliament, but that it did have time to lay the legislation to protect the beaver. Now, this really does sum up the challenges of working with the current administration. It feels like a government that has been totally anti farming and food production, if I'm honest. You know, if you can't find time for something that is really going to be a massive deal for British farmers, and you've committed to do it, and you're going to legislate to protect the beavers when there has been no management plan put out there has been no consultation with farmers put out there, and beavers in the right place. I know many farmers have got them and feel passionately about the good that they can do in slowing the flow of water. But if we can't manage them properly, we are going to be headed for major problems with flooding in towns, villages, cities, potentially. And I find it absolutely beyond belief that the government would have made this decision without those management plans in place and without consultation with farmers. So, no pressure, but the new leader of the party in September, I think things really do need to turn around, because I feel this is totally unsustainable for farming businesses. We have little clarity on anything from labour to trade to future policy. And with all this green legislation that comes towards us, I am absolutely adamant that we have to have food production as is currently, i.e. the 60% self-sufficiency, with a statutory underpinning. And we certainly need to grow it in certain areas, and we certainly need to be looking to add value to it. But the marketplace gets ever more challenging. We've got Amazon now entering the food market. That will create ever more downward pressure on price. And, I'm speaking to more and more members who are finding their businesses delisted because they're talking about rising prices or the need for rising prices with supermarkets, and then find themselves delisted. It's an untenable situation. So there's a massive job for the new government to do, and what I hope will be a reset moment for agriculture. I've never known all political parties so keen to engage. I know Sir Ed Davey and Helen Morgan were out visiting farmers in North Shropshire last week. We're meeting with the Labour team frequently, and I've offered the two potential leaders, Rishi Sunak and Liz Truss, a hustings that we could organise. We could bring in members through Teams meetings from across the country. So I'm waiting to hear if that is going to be accepted. But yet again, there seems to be a lot of talk about the environment, of course, critically important to us too. but very little talk about food production and agriculture. And of course, that underpinning the largest manufacturing sector in this country. So I'll keep you posted. But yeah, it's been a long week and a frustrating week. Anyway, please do take care in this heat. If you're harvesting, I hope it's going well. And yeah, let's just hope the temperatures stay down. And certainly while harvest is going, that we don't get any rain. Let's get that done, and then hope to goodness it does rain, because my farm looks like the Sahara, as do many others. Please take care. Speak to you next week. Many thanks.